And I think we are live. Thank you, Steve, for setting up the stream. Thank you for everybody who's joining us. We currently stopped the chat on Telegram to have everybody join in on this AMA. In the previous AMAs, we've had around 25, 30 people join in, ask questions, inquire about the developments regarding the platform and regarding EJECT as a project. And we've had hundreds of people listen to those AMAs later on, so we always make sure to record them. But again, thank you, Steve, for setting up this AMA. It's going to be our first AMA on YouTube. We're very excited. We think it's going to give us some better exposure in terms of how many people are able to watch it, how many people are maybe not familiar with it, but are able to discover and learn about EJECT through the YouTube algorithm. And we think that we're going to switch all our AMAs to be on YouTube in the future, moving forward. In terms of direct interactions with the community, it's a little bit less instinctive because we're going to need people to type in their questions in chat. And for that, I guess Steve can simply relay most important questions to me, and then I'll be able to answer them. On Telegram, we had the option to directly talk with the people, and basically have direct conversations, voice conversations. So let's get started embracing this new YouTube system. First of all, I want to mention that we had our lottery about an hour ago. That was regarding the airdrops. For everybody who hasn't witnessed it or who wasn't on the lottery live stream, the lottery is done. We have selected 18 winners for the airdrops. So all airdrop related questions, should not be valid anymore. We are hosting a second lottery. There are two prizes to be won of 5 trillion ejects each, which is worth above $100. The only required thing to do is simply to fill up the form. I think Steve will post the form both in chat here as well as on Telegram for people to fill up. And by the end of the AMA, I'll just give the mic back to Steve, and he'll be able to select the winners for that lottery. And since we should be a fair amount of people on this live chat, everybody has a very, very fair chance of winning that lottery. So you should definitely participate and stay tuned up until the end of the AMA in order to participate in that lottery. Some people are asking, when will we be able to fill the form for the lottery? You are able to fill it in a couple minutes as soon as Steve posts the link. I sent the link to Steve a couple minutes ago, and he'll just post it on this live chat as well as on Telegram for people to access. The form will be accessible for the duration of the AMA, which should be around 45 minutes. Now let's get started onto the actual AMA. Before I take any questions regarding the development of the platform, I'm just gonna quickly introduce what progress has been made, what changes have been made to the platform, and what we can expect moving forward in terms of the delivery of the platform itself. So for people who are not familiar with the concept of EJECT in general, we are trying to create a Kickstarter type platform for the Binance Smart Chain. Now, of course, later on, we will integrate different blockchains, but for now, we're focusing on the BSC. In terms of the platform itself, the first iteration of the platform will be a simpler version. The second iteration will include functions such as EJECT Launch, EJECT Fund, which will allow people to directly invest into up-and-coming projects or projects that have, that are about to launch. The first iteration will not include those functions. However, it will serve as some form of community, as a hub for people who are keen to invest onto up-and-coming projects to come and talk to developers, find out about updates and new information regarding projects, and learn more about other projects they may have never heard of in the past. The way it will work and I'm going to go into some technical details right now, is once you open up the website, there will be a classification of projects into three different categories. First one being series projects. Well, we have yet to find a better title for that, but we can call it series projects, the one that have some form of development ongoing, some form of use case. There will be hybrids, and there will be meme coins. Hybrids being some form of meme coin or joke coin that also is willing to invest into a use case and developing some form of project. Uh, those three categories will include rankings of each project depending on popularity. Our algorithm will not rank coins in terms of upvotes, just like on Coin Hunt or Coin Sniper or whatnot. We think that system is outdated, and we think it's riggable. The system can be cheated. In that regard, we will use a better algorithm that takes into account user involvement and that ranks the coins in taking into account more information on top of just direct votes. Within each ranking, you'll be able to see all the coins that are in the series category, in the meme category, and for each coin you can click on them and open up their profile page. The profile page will look a little bit like what you're currently seeing on your screen, which is just the first UI iteration, idea, template, call it whatever, but it's basically giving us an impression of what the first iteration should look like. Now on the right side, you can see a live chat. We got rid of that functionality, so that will not be included in the first iteration of the platform, simply because hosting a live chat is something that requires a lot of costs. It requires us to hire a third-party service, and it's not something that we deem necessary, knowing that a lot of communities and a lot of coins are able to host communities on Discord or Telegram. They have their own live chat functions, basically, and we don't think it's going to bring any added value to any specific project, right? So the live chat function will not exist. However, we have added other functions. And first, let me discuss the current functions that are existing on the website. Now, what you see in the middle, project updates, will basically be a Reddit/Twitter output where projects can come in, and by projects, I mean project developers, and just write something down, as in a new update, news, information, something to update the community about their progress regarding their project. And once you click on that, under that you'll be able to see a comment section that functions the same way Reddit does, meaning that not everybody is able to comment in that comment section. You need some form of karma, some form of can call it credit or points, and also the top comments are upvoted towards the top, and therefore the system basically encourages relevance and constructive criticism to exist. Now, as you can see, also we can see those that graph, that health bar. It's called categories. On there, we will use an API to derive data from the same source that Bookcoin is using, in order to have basic information on a project that has just launched. Its price, its market cap, its maybe daily returns. We have yet to select the specific points of data that we want to extract, but we'll have a basic summary of the most important data regarding each specific project. At the top, there will be an additional couple of tabs. As you can see, there is the tab Initiatives. There's also the tab Community. Under Community, what we'll have is basically a calendar which updates people on the next upcoming AMAs for that specific project. And it will include a link to a third-party app, which will probably be Zoom. So whenever a project says, hey guys, next Sunday, we're going to have a live chat on Zoom or on Telegram, it will just send a notification to everyone, and also create a pop-up on that under that community tab to show everybody here is the upcoming AMA or the upcoming voice chat, and here's the link to it. An additional tab will be, you can see it as My Programs, but we're going to rename that into Roadmap. We're going to have an additional tab called Roadmap. So whenever a developer will post a project on the platform, they'll have to input into a calendar, what is their deadlines, when do they think they can achieve the things they promised to achieve. And under the Roadmap tab, we're going to keep track of everything that's been done. And whenever they're able to achieve something, they can just come in and just tick mark. And if they have achieved it in time, that they will be rewarded in terms of points, and the algorithm also will push them upwards in the rankings. If they have not completed it in time, the opposite will happen. There will be an additional tab, a fourth tab, that we're going to call Marketing. Under the Marketing tab, developers will be able to include all the marketing they have done in regards to their platform. They will be able to include screenshots or links to any form of marketing efforts they have carried out. And it will also allow influencers to come in and type in whatever encouraging words or supporting words they want to in regards to one specific project or another. And what that will do is that will show the community that the project is attempting to get the word out there, to spread the word, and is indeed reinvesting some of their funds they have raised into marketing. Now, something else that's very important, as you can see, is that little white paper tab. One of the things that we focus on into this platform is to make sure that everybody in the community is very involved and knowledgeable about each given project. Now, the problem we're trying to solve in the first iteration of the platform is that a lot of people, when they, say, for example, join a community on Telegram or Discord, for any up-and-coming project, a lot of people just come in and ask a question. Instead of going onto the website and reading the white paper and reading about the project, they just come in and ask a question that's already been asked 100 times or 1,000 times. And of course, that has already been answered that many times. So solving the deficiency requires people to be educated about each given project, before they invest into it. And it also requires, or maybe helps developers alleviate some of that load by, pushing people to educate themselves on the project they're creating. And the way we want to do that is really emphasize on those specific points. So for example, white paper is something that is mandatory for developers to include prior to listing a project on our platform. And reading that white paper is something that will be encouraged on our website. And if a large chunk of any specific community reads the white paper, that will be taken into account by the algorithm and push that coin upwards in the rankings. So we really want to encourage everybody to DYOR, to do their own research, to read about projects, to educate themselves about projects. And what that helps to do is that it alleviates a lot of the work from the developers so that they don't have to answer the same questions all over again every time. And it also helps investors know more about what they're investing in and, basically converts them from very short-term investors into maybe longer-term investors. So really what we're trying to do is not only offer a service to the crypto community, but almost shift the attitude of investors within the crypto space by giving them a new outlook onto these up-and-coming projects. We want to give that warmer feeling of, community and inclusiveness for those projects. Not the feeling you have when you join Telegram and the project has been running for 1 month and you feel like, you don't know anything and the people on the Telegram they all already know each other and they're cracking jokes. But with this, maybe it's a little bit colder in terms of the outer aspects of it because there's no direct interaction. But there's that feeling of inclusiveness because everybody feels like they know the same thing about any specific project. They have access to the same information. they're notified about the same developments at the same time as everybody else. So nobody's left out, basically. Now, going to the next functionality, we'll have a newsletter type function. So before going to that, I can explain how the basically rank works, how the algorithm functions. One of the main elements of the algorithm in terms of the ranking system within the first page of the website will be impressions. And by that, I mean not impressions as in clicks or as in how many people have visited your page, but instead of having the option to upvote any specific project, people will have the option to choose from within a range, as in colors, could be from green to red or from light gray to dark. And depending on the color they choose, the algorithm will take that into account and rank the project. That will be one of the key components that the algorithm takes into account in terms of ranking the project. Now, we think that is better than a simple binary system because the binary system can be rigged, it can be cheated. Now, of course, the system can also be rigged, but to a lesser extent and a lesser degree. On top of that, anybody who selects the highest tier on that color system will be asked whether or not they want to be part of the newsletter for that project. So people will receive notifications whenever developers post any new information or update about a project, or tell the community, hey guys, we're going to have an AMA in 3 days. Don't forget about it. So we will have an automated system which notifies people on the development of each given project and sends them an email to the email address to the website with. Now, on top of that, what we'll also have is an algorithm that basically allows people to talk on the platform, to upvote things, to comment on things based on a hierarchy system, a tier system. So not anybody can just tune into the platform, create an account, and 5 minutes later, upvote every single project. That's a system that can be easily rigged and easily cheated. And we really want to avoid bots on our platform. We want to avoid things being skewed one way or another. And that's also the reason why we're trying to stay out of any form of paid marketing, right? We don't want to have ads everywhere on our website. We would rather have everything be quote unquote clean, and basically it being a fair ground for every single project to get their name out there and get some exposure, without having to compete with other projects that have a larger budget. Now, in order to do that, as I said, each user will have to sign up, preferably through a referral link. And after doing that, they'll have to hang out on the platform for a few days and interact with the community before being able to leave an impression, upvote a comment, leave a comment, like a project, etc., etc. I think I've been through most of the developments regarding the platform. We've discussed many of these things in our previous AMA, but this is our first YouTube AMA, so I felt like bringing up some of these topics again. In terms of, we were able to lower the deadline to having a testable beta within the middle of next month. So the 15th of July, we should have something that's testable, something that we can look at, something that we can customize and change. By the end of next month, we should have something that's complete, something that people can use, something that's already out there for everybody to use. From now until then, what we'll do is that we'll release a few updated UIs, UI images that basically show how the platform will look like. And we'll also release any updates regarding things that have been changed or things that have been added to the current version of the platform. Now, we have to take into account that everything we add will require extra time in order to code into the platform and to build. Also, something that is important to remember is that phase one of the platform, phase one is already something that we think is huge. We think it fills a huge gap within the market. A lot of people have been coming up to us and saying, well, how is your service different from this or that other website? We are not exclusively saying we're going to protect people from rug pulls. Everything's going to be safe. That's the final goal of our platform. But the main true goal of our platform is to truly fill that gap in terms of having basically one hub where people can come in and refer to a project and look at a project's developments and find out about a project, and of course later on invest into that project directly through our platform. But at first it will truly be where people can refer to a project and learn about it and be updated about it and not feel left out, basically. What we think that's also going to incentivize is people to hold on to their investment a bit more. We're going to be able to convert people again, as I said earlier, from those short-term type investors into those long-term focused investors that see the value in a project because they see the updates, they see the progress that's being made, they see information and news coming out about specific projects. And we're making basically the market more efficient because only the projects that have updates coming out on a regular basis, the projects that are being taken care of, the projects that are in contact with their community, only those will be the ones that are in the long term. The other ones will simply be left out by the community, most certainly. But we're encouraging those active projects, those ambitious projects to exist. And by definition, the other ones will just be eliminated from the market as time goes by. So overall, I think those are the major updates. I think extremely excited for what's about to come, excited for the launch of the platform. We've done a lot of progress in terms of actually creating it, building it, just in the past few days. We have hired an extra coder in our team, so we're currently five people working on this full time, very skilled people. Our previous estimates we had discussed prior to hiring these extra coders and this team. Our previous estimate was 6 months to create something of this scale, and we've lowered that to less than 2 months, and now to a month and a half. So incredibly fast, incredibly fast. It's just something opinion, and in the view of the people that are creating this, it's something that will truly revolutionize the crypto space, especially the space for up and coming projects. Now, before I move on to take a few questions, I'll just ask Steve to quickly, talk about what can be done in regards to marketing in the following weeks. Now, before I let him speak, I just want to say that we are taking into account the fact that marketing is extremely important in the crypto space. But we also have to mention that we have a lot of expenses related to the platform, and we really are focusing our efforts into making an amazing product that people will love and that people will use. And for that, we have to focus our marketing efforts. We can't just be splurging left and right simply to generate returns for short-term investors. We are instead catering to that community of believers that are heavily invested into this project. And I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about time and commitment. We have dozens of people that I can mention, that I know personally, that are invested into this project and that believe into the EJECT platform. And for that, we will, launch our most heavy marketing campaigns later on, once we have a product to deliver and once we are able to show proof of our work. Now, Steve, I know I said maybe you should discuss the marketing, but before that, I just want to mention something really quick. We will be developing a side platform, a parallel platform, just a small maybe pop-up where people can purchase merch from our platform using EJECT tokens. That's something that's in the works. We've discussed it and conceptualized it with a few of our admin team members, and That's something that we think can be beneficial to the project, especially in the early stages. And that's something that will be part of the first version of the platform, some form of quick shop or store where people can come in and get some merch, buy some merch using eject tokens, which will be a great way to create inclusiveness within our community and to have people be proud to hold the eject symbol as a sticker or as a shirt or whatever we'll come up with. Now, Steve, you go ahead with the marketing side rapidly, and I'll try to take as many questions as I can.
Great. Thanks, Dave. What Dave very modestly hasn't mentioned is the 3, 4, 5 hour calls that he's had every day with the new coding team. He's been working his socks off. He's been very busy creating, going to and fro with the dev team. So the way practically these things happen is that all of us plan something. Dave relays it to the coding team, and they come back and they say, "This is possible. This is not possible. This is the variation that's possible." And that's why he's been incredibly busy and been doing such a great job. So thanks, Dave. I'm going to switch to marketing now. Marketing, the focus over the last, as everybody knows, over the last week and a half has been CoinMarketCap. With CoinMarketCap, luckily, we were listed on there. The price was updated. So now you can go live and see the price for the eject token. We were also listed on their mobile app. So if you had the mobile app, you went to the recently added section, you would see eject. We were not, but I can't say what now. I'll just say we have not yet been listed in the recently added section of the web version, which is for both mobile desktop, but the web version. And the good news is that I'm still in touch with the CMC guys, and they haven't gone quiet on me. The guy is very reliable. He is still saying that he is positive that he will get that done. Now, before everybody pins all their hopes on this and goes crazy on the community chat, oh, CMC's coming, or it's not coming. What I want to say is I want to reiterate something that Max said on the community chat. That CMC, yes, it's a valuable milestone for us. I think we've part achieved it, but we should not be too focused on things like that. What we don't want is these massive pumps and dumps that we see with all the other coins. In fact, if I look back now, I think it's better that we were not listed everywhere in this one big move and got that huge pump and then followed huge dump. I think it's good that as we go along slowly, more people are finding out about us. We are in a very healthy way in number of holders. The chart is looking decent. I think it's fairly stable. Yes, it will go up and down. Don't worry about that too much. On that aspect, I'd also like to say that we don't really care about the chart very much at this stage, because we know that the platform is the actual decider of how that's going to move. And I think the sky's the limit once we're out with the platform. Going on with further marketing. So with the CMC update, as soon as we are on their recently added web versions, we have a host of things that we will launch, like a Reddit campaign, like a Twitter shilling campaign. We have a couple of very big influencers on Twitter that are waiting for our signal. We'll be getting some upvotes on Reddit. We have a Telegram shilling campaign that we'll be doing. And once Dave finishes his white paper version 2, we'll be working with a few very credible press publications to get the word out. Again, please try and understand from the dev team's point of view. We don't really care about these massive sudden rises. We are developing an actual working, profit-generating, revenue-based platform. And that's the reason why there's no real merit to rushing the marketing. The marketing, exactly like Dave said, has to be very strategically planned. It has to be done and shot at the times that we think we'll get the maximum impact. We are here to stay for a very long term. We have a marketing wallet that is still largely untouched, so we're okay funds wise. We're very happy with it. All we want for the community to do is do their little bit. Every single person knows a lot of other people. You know a lot of other people who are in the space, possibly not even in the space. You can tell them about a project like EJECT. You can get them interested, motivated for this platform, and gradually and slowly and organically, get more people involved. The development of concepts and projects like these is a long-term thing. Despite the fact that Dave has been working so hard and trying to get it as soon as possible out in front of you all, you do understand that any complex software will take a lot of time to build. And therefore, you will see these bouts of quiet and silence from a marketing point of view because we have limited funds. But at the same time, please understand that we're working in the background. We're doing a lot of research. We're looking at a lot of competitors. We're looking at a lot of equivalent press articles, trying to create content that would appeal to a wider audience. And all of that, marketing is not just splurging out money on popular YouTubers and Twitter influencers. My time is also marketing. The time I devote as a marketing manager, that is marketing being done at that point in time. So all of that, I hope that all the people who believe in this long term would understand that. Having said that, there is no limit or no cap to what we can do in terms of marketing. I've said this before as well. Everything in marketing is just a price. You can go to the best YouTuber and you can get on there, and that would not be the credit of the marketing manager. I mean, anybody can do that. You could step out tomorrow, write a few emails to YouTube influencers. They're going to come back to you with prices. You pay the price and you're on there. So what's marketing in there, right? Marketing really is when you can strategically time what you want to do, create brilliant content, create the right messaging, then time it together with major landmarks, for example, CMC, for example, the platform UI iterations, maybe the platform version 1. And if it's done correctly like that, not only will we have a bigger impact, a more wholesome and organic impact, but we'll stick around for a really long time because we will not exhaust all our marketing budgets overnight. So I think everybody in our admin team understands that very clearly. A lot of our very early investors understand that very clearly. And I'm sure that all the new people who are joining us today as well, first of all, welcome to EJECT. Thank you for your trust in us and stick with us. I think we are going to create something good. Dave, there are so many questions, and actually not so many questions, not a lot of relevant questions, but if you are ready, I can start shooting them your way, or you can read them from the chat. How do you want to do that?
Go ahead, just send me the questions. I think it's going to be easier to do it that way.
So one person earlier in the chat asked, how emotionally attached are the devs to the price movements on a daily basis?
Almost not attached at all, I want to say. And I don't want to say that in an alarming way for the people. But there's the eject token, which will be used on the platform. And then there's the platform itself. Now, the eject token is vital because it will have a very strong importance in the life of our platform. But knowing that and taking that into consideration, and knowing that the platform will happen, it's in the works, it will come out in a month and a half, it will exist, and then a second version of the platform will come out another 2 months after. Knowing those things, the value of the token shall go up and shall rise as people find a use for the token later on. So the current price fluctuations are not necessarily something that affects us, since we know for a fact that we are delivering a product that we think will change the crypto space forever. And we are going to require that token. People are going to need that token in order to interact with our platform a few months down the line, in order to support projects, invest into projects, to buy merch, in order to be able to trade certain things, or to leave certain impressions, or leave certain comments, or have certain privileges within the platform, or have certain discounts. The token will have a list of use cases within the platform itself. So if the platform is a hit and we are working in order to create something that will become a hit, in order to fill in a gap in the market, in order to create something of a great value, then the token price will rise. So if the price dips tomorrow, if it rises tomorrow, that doesn't necessarily change something for us, since we know that the work we're creating, the platform we're making, will eventually be of great success. That's our hope, and that's our goal. I hope I
Right.
answered.
Yeah, really answered, Dave. Another question that the gentleman is asking is, when the platform finally comes into existence, how do you plan to start listing projects? What would your approach be?
So that's a good question. That's something maybe we discussed in more details, or maybe I actually never discussed it. It's just something I've been talking uh, about with the coding team and other admins so many times. I feel like I've shared that information already, but maybe I can go into more details into it. So the way it works is that just like if you want to list a token on or any other platform, you come in and you have to fill in certain informations, and after filling in that information, you can directly list your token, right? Now, of course, we'll have a moderating team that checks if all the information is accurate, that check that everything's okay, that there's no inappropriate content. But at first, the way it works is you just have to fill in the gaps and then just press and submit, and then your token gets almost automatically listed. Now, the thing is, our listing process requires a few extra steps on top of what you need to do to get your token listed on something like CoinHunt. Developers will have the option to dox themselves, either completely or simply to a form of KYC process. Developers will also have to input what their project is about in great detail, as well as a white paper. So attach a link to that or simply paste the content of their white paper. Project developers will also have to fill in some form of calendar that says, which dates they're planning to create this or this or that, right? And the way that will be outputted in the website will be as the roadmap I earlier discussed. Project developers will also have to include, detailed information about what their motivations are on top of their timeline. So, some form of way for the community to be able to quickly read into the project and understand what the project is about and trying to achieve. Because a lot of projects are coming out and saying, we are a yield rewarding NFT, double BNB. Anyways, a lot of confusing terms mixed together that make it look like it's something of value. But instead, what we want to create is a platform where projects are very clear about their motivations and what they're trying to create, and projects are driven to and encouraged to be unique and create additional value in things that have not been created yet into the market. So those are additional things that each project will have to include when filing and applying to be listed on our platform. But again, as I said, it will be automated. I think our goal by creating this platform is to have everything as an automated process, something simple interaction, except for us mods to be able to come in and delete inappropriate contents or reclassify a project if it's been misclassified into the serious category or the hybrid category, for example. So I hope that answers that question, and maybe we can move on to the next
Yes.
question.
That's brilliant. Another person, I think you've already answered that as well, but I'll just reiterate that so you can give online answer. When will people be able to connect their wallets to the platform?
Awesome question. So in the first iteration of the platform, which is a month and a half from now, or maybe a little bit less than that, people will not be directly able to connect their wallet since there's still not the functionality of investing. And now that's maybe something I didn't mention earlier, but that's also information that should be that will be inputted by the developing team and that will appear on our website. How much money is the project trying to raise? How much money has the project already raised? and basically just information that you usually find on apps such as EJECT.Sale, etc., etc. So we're not sure yet whether or not we want that to be a manual process, as in the developers have to update that information constantly, or whether or not we can extract the information directly from EJECT.Sale. However, we don't think EJECT.Sale have their own database, meaning that it's going to be a little bit hard to just extract that data directly. But all in all, the wallet connection is not something that's extremely complicated to create. I mean, if we work on it for, say, a week, we're able to do that. However, the most complicated part will be to actually build on top of that wallet connection and offer functionalities for people to use their wallet on our platform. And by that, I mean things to purchase, things you can pay with and eject, as well as the funding process of each project. And that requires a lot of coding because you need some form of automation within the blockchain. Smart contracts need to be created automatically, just like EJECT.Sale does it. And that's going to take the bulk of our time in order to create something very functional and very user-friendly like that. That's going to take us a little bit more time. But to connect the wallet, we can include that a week after we launched phase one. That's not a problem. But again, the real goal is to offer things to the people that are able to connect their wallet, right? And the most important one being, the funding part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. There's one gentleman or lady, Mal Saint. They're inputting some really brilliant comments. Thank you, Mal Saint. Mal Saint says, and the more we wait with the marketing wallet, the more it is worth with the price going up. More possibilities to promote the actual product when time comes, which is exactly right, Mal Saint. So thank you very much for being very sensible. Again, marketing wallet is a finite entity. We have only so many tokens. So if we do it properly, when we organically grow, then obviously we get much more bang for the buck. There's one other question, Dave, for you, but let me just quickly check. There's nothing else. CMC I've answered already. Marketing I've answered already. Just the one last question, Dave, is about doxing. They're asking what are the doxing plans? When do you plan to do that?
Awesome question. So in terms of completely doxing, so we are doxed to each other, us as developers of the platform. We are planning to dox to a smaller community of admins, which we're not doxed to, but which we are doxing to in the very near future. And in terms of doxing to the entire community, that will happen right before phase one of the platform is about to be released. We are willing to get doxed to the people. At least I speak personally. I don't want to speak for Steve. But as the head of the company, as a creator of EJECT and the developer of EJECT, I will be doxing by the end of July 2021. Now, we think that's important because it drives a lot of credibility for projects. It allows people to trust into a project. However, in the early stages of a project, things are very volatile. Things can go crazy very quick, and people can get carried away with their emotions. And it was not in our interest to dox in the first place. Not because we don't want the community to know who we are, simply to protect ourselves from things that can go wrong at any time. But our goal was always to dox ourselves at one point, and that will come prior to the release of phase one platform, at least speaking for myself. I think it's enough if I myself can dox. I don't think we need to force anybody else from the developing team to dox. If I, the lead developer, have a public profile and can talk to the community as the person that I am, basically. I hope I answered that.
Perfect. We lost you, Dave.
Oh, did I get disconnected for a long time?
No, just for the last 1 second, 2 seconds.
Okay. No, I'm here.
Okay. Now, and I will follow Dave's footsteps. He's the leader. When if he decides to, I'm not going to be doxing to the immediate admin team as of now, but on the launch of the platform, I'll be doxing myself as well, just like Dave would be. Brilliant. I think we are done with the questions, Dave, unless you want to wrap it up with something to end with, but otherwise we're done with the questions.
Just want to say some nice updates coming up in the few, I would say 10 to 15 days, especially regarding how the platform will look like in great details. Somebody in chat, I'm just going to answer this last question. Somebody in chat is asking, are links or charts be visible on the platform? Yes, we will have data on each project visible on the platform, live data in terms of price, volume, trading volume, market cap, etc., etc. But we will have other links that send you directly to PooCoin or whatnot. Okay, so now done with the questions completely. I can just say big updates, big developments coming up in the next few days, actually, not even weeks, in terms of how the platform will look like. We're going to update that UI model that we currently have into something that's more like how the platform will look like, a month and a half from now. So stay tuned for that. We have our infographic designer working very hard on it, and we're currently revising models with him. And apart from that, I just want to say thank you for everyone who was able to tune in, and also thank you to everyone who's listening to this in the recording section of our YouTube channel. Steve, if you also want to wrap up with a few words.
Oh, I completely forgot about the lottery. So we have a form. Let me do that live whilst everybody is here. So yeah, I'm just going to be awesome. 1000% transparent. I'm just going to take this. Bear with me 1 second.
Thank you, Raymond, for the compliments. Thank you, Mel Saint, as well. Right now, just not to keep everything quiet, the aim is still live. Steve is currently setting up the lottery. And if we have, as Seventin is saying, if we have 30 entries, that means that everybody has a very fair chance of winning at this lottery. We might have a bit more than that. Are you able to look at the output of, we have 66 responses. I actually created the form. We have 66 responses. Thank you, Shivam, for your compliment as well. So 66 responses. I think that everybody has, above a 1% chance of winning this lottery. I think that's very, very fair. If you haven't filled up the form yet, I guess everybody here has filled up the form. I think we ask in the form to give in your Telegram, Telegram account username in order for us to be able to contact you after we send you the tokens to congratulate you.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I can see the Excel. Give me 2 minutes, please.
Awesome. Take your time.
Just trying to hide the wallets and the username so that there's no privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, here we are. Fantastic.
We're only currently seeing the website on your share screen.
Yes. I purposely haven't shared it yet.
Oh, perfect.
Just hiding the...
Maybe you can simply hide the usernames and just have the wallets showing. I don't think anybody can identify. People will know which wallets it is because we'll send them. There's going to be 2 outgoing transactions to those wallets.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm ready. Right, I'm sharing my Excel sheet now. Going back to...
Mr. Lilly is saying 1 out of 33 chances. Yes, that's correct. 2 out of 66.
Right.
Crypto saying
So-
only 15 people watching. Our current data shows that we have 33 people watching as of now, and um, also important to remember that some people tuned in and left the AMA after a few minutes, or simply not live right now, but they came in and then maybe they're going to listen to the recording later. But either way, everybody who filled up the form is fair game.
So as you can see on
So
my screen now, that there are 67 minus 1, 66 wallets that we have in this Excel sheet. Dave, let me know if you can see it.
I can see it.
Oh, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin the wheel between 1 and 67. And whoever wins, we will mark this wallet green, and I'm going to share the file with the community. So now for that, I'm going to have to share a different tab. I'm just opening that wheel. So I'm going to go to Google and search for random number wheel. Got it. I'm going to share this tab now. Here we are. I'm sure you can see it. So the minimum number is 2, and the maximum is 67, sorry. Just confirming that. 67, brilliant. Now we're going to spin the wheel. Good luck, everybody. And thank you again for watching the live AMA. Here we go.
Forty-eight is the winning number.
Fantastic. And one more. Doing that now.
The last person to fill the form is a winner.
Wow. 48 and 54. I'm just going to mark that here. I'm going to share the other screen again.
48 and 67, you mean?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Congratulations to everybody who filled in the form and who won.
48 is this one.
I think that whoever it is probably on this live stream right now, because those are the most recent numbers. And whoever filled in the form last probably knows, can recognize themselves. We'll contact them.
Brilliant. I'll do that immediately. Thank you again to everybody who attended. Those are my last words, Steve. Dave.
Perfect. Same thing here. Thank you everyone for being here. I think doing it on YouTube is much better because the interaction is we're getting a lot of constructive criticism as well as good comments in the chat, and it's easier for us to communicate that way rather than in a simple voice chat function. So this was awesome. Our next AMA should be sometimes next week, so probably something around maybe Thursday, so that we have enough updates to give the community. Again, thank you everyone for being here. Amazing experience, amazing AMA, and everyone have a good day.
Have a great day.